Hey guys, I'm Geoff Fienberg back with you this week breaking down the Bermuda Championship for oddschecker.com/US. Yesterday I gave you my outright selections for the Bermuda Championship. If you missed them, check the Oddschecker feed. They will be right there. Like, sub, comment, all that fun stuff. Tell me who you think is going to win the Bermuda Championship or which proposition wagers you like this week. As usual on the Thursday prop show, I'm liable to give an extra outright pick. We did so last week, and it was Patrick Cantley winning at 32-1. Like last week, we only gave 3 outrights in our first video of the week, which gives us some room to have made another decision or two, and I promise you we absolutely have. Now the only decision I have to make is to tell you which order I'm going to run these suckers off in. Well, let's go from the deep end to the front, I guess. I said yesterday I'd have a long shot. I don't always have long shots. I don't know. I don't see that part of the board as well as people, and I enjoy betting the bigger golf tournaments where good golfers win. So this is a part of the board I'm not going to lie, I don't break down a ton. I don't see the win equity that is required. Nonetheless, we got one this week, and this would be one of the tournaments if you literally wanted to pepper your card with 100-1 picks. I certainly don't think something like that could be argued at all. But I've got one over 100-1 coming in at 125-1 using that Oddschecker grid, getting me the best number. I'm seeing some hundreds out there. It is one half of the brothers Putnam. Andrew Putnam, guys. Listen, he has been on an absolutely horrendous 2020. I know that firsthand because I drafted him in a fantasy league this year. How the hell did you draft Andrew Putnam? What's wrong with you? Well, I think it was one of my very, very, very last picks, but he was a top 50 player in the world going into last year, and part of the reason I drafted him was that ranking got him into a lot of premier events, some of which had no cut, and I thought it was an easy cash grab. Nonetheless, he was horrid all year. Consistently atrocious. So the gains that I'm going to reference might not be as strong as you want, but they are gains. 3 straight cuts made. Seems like a good bit of run for a guy like Andrew Putnam. The season was dreadful, absolutely dreadful in every way imaginable, but we are seeing some minor gains here. And the price, I mean, listen, that's why the price is the price. But an excellent record with some coastal results, both in Hawaii and in Scotland. So I'm riding Andrew Putnam this week. He doesn't have to overpower the golf course. These are usually the events that set up well for Andrew. I'm going to supplement the 125-1 outright pick with a nibble on 12-1 for the top 10 for Andrew this week. So there's an outright and a top 10 on Andrew Putnam. My main outright ad, I'm going to save it for the end. We'll save it for the end. Maybe I should do it now. Nope, the end. Chesson Hadley. We're going back to front here, guys. Back to front. Chesson Hadley plus 750 on the top 10 using the Oddschecker grid. He plays his absolute best when he isn't required. No one is required to overpower a golf course on the tee. Tremendous iron player, tremendous, good little putter. Hopefully we get the snaps. I can't do it, but you golf fans know what I mean. The Headley snaps. I believe this is a course that fits him. I was even tempted to bet him outright. This isn't well, you could gauge how big of a compliment this is. I wouldn't argue it's too big of a compliment, but it is a comp. He is very Toddian. What I mean like that is a lot of what he does can remind you of Brendan Todd, who's had a great deal of success at Bermuda with his win here last year and was sort of a Kickstarter for Brendan and the rejuvenation of me thinking the guy's a freaking legend. Nonetheless, Chesson Hadley plus 750 using that Oddschecker grid on the top 10. Another top 10 we're going to throw on here, Rasmus Højgaard plus 450 for a top 10. I don't believe this guy has finished outside of 30th in any event he's put the ball in the ground in recent memory. He's won on the European Tour. I was tempted to bet him outright. I could have bet him outright and literally come on here, made a case that I believe pound for pound he's the most talented golfer in the field. Yeah. I was going to put him up against Willie Z. But I'm a big believer in the young Scandinavian who, if you watch European Tour golf, this kid seems like he's going to be the real deal. I believe this will be his first PGA Tour event. I don't see any reason why this course couldn't suit him. Can work with a lot of European courses, shorter courses, not necessarily being overpowered, that rely on irons and putting. Rasmus Højgaard, 45 to 1 to win, if that's the number you wanted to bet, because I did check it out using Odds Checker for point of reference, plus 450 for the top 10 this week. Give the Cantley top 10. We give that one more, and there's a top 10 and an outright. So my notes are kind of all over the place. Everything's written on a page, but not necessarily in the order I wanted to deliver it. It's just written in the order I decided I wanted to bet it. Okay. You didn't need to go inside the machine. You don't even know how the hot dogs are made. You just like good hot dogs. Charlie Hoffman, guys. 35 to 1, outright pick. Add it to the card. There's 28s on the Odds Checker grid, so let's make sure we score that 35 available at Bet365 and Will Hill. Charlie Hoffman, he had a miscut at the Shriners, but was incredibly I was going to say profitable, but I don't know. We didn't really bet him. And at his best event, we actually got off him, which I believe was Sanderson. Nonetheless, let me continue my point. 3 straight top 15s. 3 top 15s and 4. Are you okay? Should I abort the pick? Because this isn't going well. Charlie Hoffman. 3 top 15s in his last 4 events. I believe these are the birdie parties that he excels in. I am seeing the signs of life that had us betting Charlie quite a bit. I believe he's the type of guy that can get off to an incredibly hot start with all those Golf Channel birdies and put us in a position on the weekend, especially at a course like this. Par 3 scoring is a bit of an animal here. It seems to be the place where you can get in trouble. Charlie Hoffman has been absolutely electric in that regard. So another reason that I want to bet Charlie Hoffman. We are also going to supplement Charlie with a plus 400 top 10, guys. Plus 400 top 10. I guess we could repeat the 3 top 15s in 4 of his last starts against this field on a course like this. I'm all in on Charlie Hoffman this week for the win, for the outright. Let's see if he can get back in winner's circle. He's won in Texas. I believe he is from Texas, so I'm not too concerned if the win does pick up at all. That's it. Charlie Hoffman on the outright card, 35 to 1, best number available using the Odds Checker grid. We're going to play the top 10 there. Andrew Putnam, 125 to 1 with the 12 to 1 top 10. All the best numbers on the Odds Checker grid. Rasmus Højgaard plus 450 on the top 10. And Chesson, snap, plus 750 on the top 10. This is Bermuda. Next week is Houston. Then it's the Masters in November. I can't wait. I'm already excited. They've cut the padlocks on the front gate. Let's barnstorm that sucker. I'm Geoff Fienberg. We'll see you next time. Leave meeting.